So if I've sent you the link to this video, it's because I would like your help in a collaborative.
He's the Tuco Viper, baby.
Tell me about this Tuco.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I am down south 77, aka 3-Star Draw. Now, I guess I'm like two sides to the same coin. This here, you already know what we do over here. I was on a live stream the other night and I got asked a question, which was interesting. We got on the subject because I was already going to make a video on the topic. This video that you're watching now. However, I had my dates wrong and this video wasn't going to come out until next week. And then I went back and looked and I'm like, oh wait, it was even sooner than I thought. And I am, of course, talking about Tuco Viper, Tuco the Travelin Cobra. Tuco is a collaboration project that I started a year ago. A year ago today, they asked me how long it had been since he had been going around, and I went back and I did some checking, and it was today, which is July 21st. If you're watching this in the future, it was July 21st. That was when the first shipping label was printed out, and I packed him up and first got him on the road. However, it seems like there was a couple of days delay before I could actually get him to the post office, but I'm going with July 21st because that's when I packed him up and that's when the label was printed. Nonetheless, people were asking about the progress of Tuco and when I thought the project would be completed, because everybody's like, this is taking forever, man. I forgot about it. I've notified people to let them know that they're going to get him next. And they're like, what? Because it's been so long since we talked about it. And I didn't put out a master list of everybody that's getting him or got him or whatever. I think some people now know who other people were that had him, but that's never was going to be any big secret. I knew that was going to come out, with people talking about it and joking in any way. So what's taking so long and where is he? Well, the answer is y'all. The people participating in the project, everybody has had various amounts of time with him. Some people can't line up getting their pictures done and just for general whatever. So it has taken a little bit longer than what I had hoped it was going to take to get this thing done. But I also knew it was going to take a long time and there was a lot of wiggle room in there. It's like I can't enforce how long anybody keeps him. I'm not going to go there and pry him out of their hands. I'm at their mercy. So that is what's taken so long. Some people have had to spend extra time with him to get what they wanted to do done. And some people have done absolutely nothing while they've had him. And I've had to be like, hey, there's a whole bunch of people that's still got to get this guy. So that is what has taken so long with him. As far as an update, I will give you a little bit of information, and I'm also going to give you some sneak peeks at what has been going on with Tuco Viper and some other information. So a little bit of housekeeping with that first. Tuco has been to 2 countries, and so far he has been to 15 states, including this one, including Tennessee, where I'm at. He's actually been to Tennessee a few times now, but that's neither here nor there. So that's what's going on. He's traveled a lot of miles, seen a lot of cool things. And as far as the sneak peek, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys some of the pictures that have been taken that are included with the project. I'm not going to put them in any kind of order, and I'm not going to put anybody's name on them this time, but I'm going to throw a few in here as a slideshow, a real quick slideshow of just an idea of what people are doing with him and some things to expect when the final video comes out. Now, some people ask me down south, when do you think that video will be out realistically. It's hard to say. I am very, very optimistic for the end of September, but it's probably going to be October if things can move along. How far along is he in the project? There are 6 people left, all but 2 of them, I think it will go quickly with. And that is including me, and that is including Pop Blender, who will have him here also again when he gets back to Tennessee. So down to 6 people. I'm not going to say how many people have had him so far. Not going to put that in this video. It'll be in the final video, but if you know, you know, if you've been keeping up with it and in the chats and whatnot and seeing where all he's been. I'm going to show a few pictures, as I mentioned, because when I started the project, I did tell people that if they wanted, they could post up to 3 pictures. I asked no more than 3, and it doesn't even matter if you think the picture you post is your best picture or are your best pictures. So, and I will say that I think there's only been one person that has posted one of their pictures, and that I saw that I can think of. There's only been one person, I think, that's posted any of their Tuco pictures, and if you didn't know it, you wouldn't know it was Tuco in that picture. You might have suspected it, but you wouldn't have known it. So I thought it was pretty sly the way that they worked that in, the way they did when they did. So again, back to the pictures. It's coming together nicely. I'm working on him. I'm working on it here behind the scenes. I will tell you guys how I'm doing it. I'm getting however many pictures from whoever, certain people. They get done with him, send him off. They send me their pictures when they're ready. Now, if they've got to go back and do any post-processing or any Photoshop, anything like that, that's up to them. I don't alter any of the pictures. Everything that is going to be in here and in the final video when it comes out will be just the straight up pictures. There will be places where I have to overlay some, or I have to throw a background behind the picture, because if I zoom in on it, it's going to lose the scope of the whole thing, and I don't want to do that. So there may be some areas in here, or definitely in the final video, where you get a background and then the picture, and then it will zoom in on the main focus of Tuco. And that's because some people have gone through some effort setting scenes and setting stuff up, but if it was taken in 4:3 and not 9:16, doesn't fill the frame. So I don't want to lose any of what they wanted in their picture, so I'll show the picture and then zoom in on it to focus better. So that's how I'm doing the videos. Every person's set of pictures is going to have their own slideshow. I'm doing them one at a time. Sometimes I'll do a couple of them a day. Sometimes I'll do one. Sometimes I'll go 3 weeks and I won't work on any. I'm all caught up, or I was all caught up. I have some to work on now, but that's for another time. But that's how I'm doing it. So the final video will be me kind of talking around with a wraparound, and then we'll go into slideshows of each individual person, and it will be in the order that they had Tuco, with one exception, in the final video. In this video, I'm just going to mix them all up, like pick a card, any card. So if you got any questions, drop them in the comments. You can email me. The email is in the channel description. If you got any questions about it, about the project, anything like that, let me know. I am working fast as I can to get it done and get the whole thing completed. But again, I am at the mercy of whoever has him and how long they take. So it ain't on me. It's, you know who you are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at some pictures of Tuco. And I've also picked a random sampling of the souvenirs. I've asked people to put in souvenirs with Tuco as they get him. There's a big Ziploc bag in there. People are putting stuff in, adding stuff to. I've had to have that stuff come back to me, I think, 3 times now, because there's so much in there, and you got to be conscious of the weight sending it to the next person. So I've had it shipped back either to me or over to Pop Blender so I could get the stuff out. And then I met up with somebody that had him and got the stuff out and then sent him back off. So I just picked a random sampling of some of the souvenir stuff. The souvenir stuff is crazy because I like weird, or not necessarily weird, but just common things from other areas, from other cities or other countries or whatever. One thing that I told people to use is like restaurant menus. If you got like your local favorite restaurant, or hell, your local restaurant that you can't stand, throw a menu in there. Like somebody threw in like a campaign pamphlet, like a card, you might get in the mail with a really funny name on it from somewhere. Things like that. Stickers, random odd assortments, and then there's been people that have thrown in little accessories for him. Got somebody that really went out of their way, couple of people that really went out of their way doing accessories and things to make the project more exciting for who gets it next. All that will be in the final video. That won't be in this one. But so when I swap over and I show the memorabilia, the souvenirs that I'm calling it, and it's just like this random collection of stuff, like menus and things. That's what I asked for, just proof of everywhere that he's been so far. So that's the kind of stuff that I like. I mean, there's a hotel key in there. That's just the most random assortment of stuff. It's hilarious, and I love every bit of it. So if you haven't gotten him yet and you're on the list to get him, keep it coming. So fingers crossed, everybody. Hopefully September into October, we can get this thing wrapped up and get the final video done. When the final video is done, it will be a premiere. It'll be out, way ahead of time, so people have knowledge. They know to tune in. Will most likely be on a Wednesday night, because that's the night that I typically do a live stream, either with Pop Blender or Krusty Old Crow. So I'll probably do a premiere for earlier than what we usually go on, and that way we can hang out in the chat and everybody can watch it together for the first time. So there's a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of the housekeeping on Tuco Viper, where he's at, how it's coming together, how it's going to be done at the end, we hope. And that said, now we'll get on to the pictures and the memorabilia. So wish the project luck, y'all. It's been fun so far. I can't wait for everybody to see the things that other people have done with Tuco Viper. So let's take a look at some pictures and some memorabilia.